the show from my house. Sorry about the lighting. One of the light bulbs in my ceiling went. I obviously do not have a replacement, and I cannot leave my house to get a replacement. So just so everyone knows, there were 20.8 inches of snow that fell in my town. Blanketed the whole area. We were buried in snow. It was unreal. Snowmageddon at its worst. So there is no product because I left the office on Friday feeling optimistic it wasn't going to happen. And the forecast was a lot less than this. And the last snowstorm, I managed to make it back to the office for the show. So I figured I had time. Yeah, it'd be fine. So I left. Ended up, when I woke up Saturday morning, drove back to the office to get my laptop. But I had other things I had to do. So I ran in there real quick, grabbed it. So if I suddenly shut off, it's because I forgot the cord too. So this has been a hot mess, people. I can't even tell you. So there are no books. I don't have them ready. Don't have them scanned. So we will do that on Wednesday. And we're only going to do 1 hour tonight. Yeah, Tales from the Crypt, right, CVB? Sorry about the lighting, guys. I was going to bring a lamp in, then it was like 10 minutes to showtime, and I couldn't find the right lamp, and I didn't mess with it. And I'm sure that no one tunes into the show to see my pretty face. But hang out. We're going to talk we're going to do kind of a just chat, a long Zoom call, if you will, for about an hour. And we'll get back to the product on Wednesday. All right. So hang out. We're going to have some fun. Talk about anything you guys want. Hey, there he is, the man, the myth, the legend. All right, so Preston, not 28, 20.8, although I'm not sure that 7.2 inches would have made a huge difference at this point. There was so much snow. So I want to say this, that this snowstorm, as big a pain in the butt as it turned out to be, they definitely got it right. They were freaking about it all week. And it was just unreal how much snow came down. I kept looking out the window. I'm like, I cannot believe it's still snowing. When I went out around noontime today, all right, because I wanted to deal with digging out, right? I opened the door and the snow came up to my shins. All right. I had to step into it and it was unreal. So all my neighbors are out. So I want to say this. It seems like whenever you watch the news or you look on social media, it's bad news. It makes you question the human species, people as a whole. But the one good thing that came out of this snowstorm was it reaffirmed my belief in the human condition and people. All right. So I walk out there and my neighbors know what happened with me. I've lived here. My daughter is going to be 26 this year. So we moved here when she was 1. So I've lived here for about 24 years, I guess, give or take. So the neighbors on the end, they weren't the original neighbors that I had, but they moved in fairly soon afterwards, like maybe 3 or 4 years after. On the other side of me, they were young when they moved in. They weren't the original people, but they were young, plus years. So they know what's going on with my life. They know my kid. I watched the neighbors on my left, have a child when they moved in. He helped me out a little bit with the shoveling. He helped me out a lot, actually. Today, I walk out there and I'm trudging through the snow, almost fall down my steps because it's so much snow. Okay, not that it would have hurt because I would have fallen right in the snow. I walk out there and my neighbor to my right, an older couple, that have been there. I've known them for probably close to 20 years. They called our landscaper and told them to come by and remove the snow. And they were nice enough. When I got out there, he told me that, yeah, they told them to do my driveway and my walk as well. Don't worry about it. And that was really nice because this was definitely the Widowmaker. This was so much snow. It was wet. It was heavy. Yeah, I saw that in Long Island, CVB. And then the neighbor on my left, the younger couple with the 9-year-old, I walk back in. I've been there and need another cup of coffee. I look out my window again, and they wiped out. They took all snow off my car, so he cleaned off my car. So I literally did very little other than hang out with them for about, I don't know, half an hour, 45 minutes, just shooting the breeze. While people, I have to admit though, while we were out there, we had 2 snow plows down our street, and they got that cleaned up super fast. And it did help that it was about 38 around here, so we got a lot of melt. But I got to tell you, CVB, I guess so, man. But it reaffirmed my faith in people. It's nice to have neighbors that you've known for a long time. I hope they'll move anytime soon. But it was really cool. It was really cool because
that's really nice. About 15 years ago, we had a bunch of tornadoes come through, and it knocked out our power for like a little over a week. So for like a week and like 2 days, my town had no power, right? And I met my neighbors for the first time. Everybody's outside grilling because everybody's trying to cook up everything frozen in their refrigerators. And I don't know, like, it's nice here's what's crazy. Get on social media, you get out there in the world, you get on the TV, you get anywhere, and all you see is the divisiveness of people in this country right now, right? People bickering, people arguing, this and that. When push comes to shove, the majority of people, I think, are always good, decent people that help each other out, right? We need to get that mentality. Who cares about this or that? Like, that's the core of who we are and why we're here, right?
I agree. I like to think that's true. I mean, it was really nice to know that people are still like that. I don't need to know about your politics. I don't need to know about what you think about anything. Okay. There was snow all over the place and people helped me out. And I appreciate that. Now they do have a golden retriever who is I think he was a husky that they got it wrong on the way down when he was born. He was lying in the snow, whatever. So this is the best part. So of course, I took a look at the snow. I tried shoveling a little bit of right at the front door so I could get out. And I was like, oh my God, I'm gonna have a heart attack already. And so when he told me about that, I said, oh, cool. Just let me know how much I owe you. And he says to me, no, we got it. So I texted his wife later, and she's like, no, it's on us. Don't worry about it. So I immediately came back in, ordered on Amazon a whole bundle of dog toys. But the dog was practically making snow angels in the snow out front. It was so funny. But it was just really nice, okay, to know that people would do that for you. And
that's super cool. And it's nice that you're paying it forward, that you're doing something nice for them. And that's even better, man.
Well, I have to. I mean, the neighbor to my right leaves me cookies every holiday. She's done it every year for the past 7-8 years. Cookies are banging too. They're really good.
That's nice. See, my neighbors leave me alone, and that's exactly what I need them to do. So I like my neighbors right now. They're not noisy, my current neighbors. Of course, I live in an apartment, Rex, so I have new neighbors like every few months, it feels like, right? The last people that just moved out, so the apartment directly across from me, like right next door to me, that we share a wall, they moved out, and they were actually cool. But the people before them, oh my goodness, dude, they'd be running. I felt like their kids their kids were centaurs, and they were running all over the walls and the ceilings and everything, man. It was crazy. So I think the most snow I've ever seen, I was in West Virginia. I was down there working on a project in like 2007, something like that. And we had like 1.5 feet of snow. And I was like, this is insane. I had never seen that much snow in my life. You say 20.8 inches, that blows my mind. What's the most snow you've ever seen in a storm?
I'm gonna say the most I've ever seen in a storm was close to 30. I was in this house. My daughter was real small. She had to be maybe 3 years old. So that would have been about 23 years ago, roughly. And I remember that it sticks in my mind because number one, we didn't have any beer and we couldn't get out of the house. Okay. I was still married at the time to her mom.
Still
And
married and no alcohol. Man, that must have been terrible.
It was bad. One of my neighbors gave me like a couple of bottles of beer just so I had some. So I remember this because I took my daughter out on her sled. She was too small yet to slide down the hill, and we weren't going to a hill. You couldn't get out. Okay, we were snowed in, literally. And I was dragging her on the sled, and I remember doing it. I live in a cul-de-sac. I remember being out in the cul-de-sac, and the snow was literally almost up to my trucks, although we did have some Karens who came out because they weren't done yet, and they were complaining about getting snowed in, their driveways being snowed in. I think they would have cleared it if you gave them enough time. They just started, but whatever. So we did have that, which once again made me doubt humanity. But but you watch the news reports. I would say they did an excellent job.
Wow. Yeah, I know some people up in the area, like in New York. They were like, "What the heck is this?" Like people were sharing photos and video, and they're like, nobody was it like, so they knew that this was coming in, but they didn't think it was going to be as big as it was, or something. Is that what happened?
It kept changing. All right. So apparently it's sticking. Jay, are we having? It might be my end. My internet's kind of choppy.
No, I don't think it's you, Rex. I think it's YouTube. I don't know what's been going on, but since last week, it's blocking my comments as spam. It's not letting me post links. I have to say hello 5 times to people before the comment goes through. I just looked on YouTube and it looks fine over there too. So I'm not sure what is going on.
All right. Well,
YouTube's been weird ever since there was like a week ago. YouTube shut down for a couple hours for a lot of people, so it's been kind of it's been kind of glitchy ever since then, I think.
So what were you saying, man?
Who, me?
Yeah, were you talking or what was I?
You were talking.
So I did lose power for like a second last night. That made me nervous because no power, no heat. Right. So I immediately turned on my gas fireplace when the power came on because the gas fireplace would work with.
Oh, now he froze on me.
Okay, now he's frozen. Oh, goodness.
How's it in Texas, man? How much snow you got, Jay?
None. It's a balmy 63 or 65 here right now.
Nice. It's 33 degrees here.
No thanks.
Which is very cold because last week it got up into the 70s. And then Saturday night into yesterday and today, it got cold again. And it's going to be like 20 degrees in the morning. And then it's going to start warming up to the 50s and then 60s and 70s again. I think hopefully we're almost done with this winter thing, right? I think like I'm down here in Alabama. We're not accustomed to that, man. You know, a lot of people like to talk smack about us, Jay. You know, me and you, us Southerners, and they tell us like, yeah, you guys can't even handle a little bit of snow. But I tell you what, come down here on 98 degrees, 100% humidity, and you tell me how it feels. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, 110 in the shade.
Yes, that does happen. How you been, Jay? How's life?
Great, man. Like I said, just having this weird issue with YouTube, man. I don't know what it is.
Yeah, there's something going on there, man. All kinds of stuff.
Yeah, but we had our hangout on Saturday where we nope, Ed and I are not comic book folks as in like how you are or Miss Jen or people like that actually work in the store. So we were talking about Dork and White Sky and that hippopotamus book. Like
you talking about Florida Hippopotamus Cocaine Massacre, which was Robbie's pick of the week last week?
Yes, like I liked it, but the fact that it's sold out. This is the third week we've had books sell out.
Look
like
at
they
it.
have.
Not bagged and boarded, just sitting here. Look at that.
So
That was my pick of the week, dude. I loved this book. This book was insane. Every once in a while, I got to make a book like this the pick of the week just because I had the most fun. I laughed out loud. Dude, that part, and you'll get this because you're a movie guy too, right? You're a movie guy like me.
Yeah.
That part where all of those like special agents or whatever like are coming through, and one of them's like, I'm 3 days away from retirement. One's like, I just had a son, and they're all like, and you're just
love that. But tell my girl I love her and marry her. Yeah, I was like, oh wow, cannon fodder at its finest.
It was great. Like I actually bought a copy, and I don't buy all the comics I review, right? Because I work at the shop and I get to read them. But I was like, I'm buying this because I just want this because this is something I feel like I'm going to go back to. And then all of a sudden it jumped up, man. And like, yeah, and then White Sky happened. White Sky, that's weird. The White Sky and the Dork things are weird. Like Dork, I get it because I think shops underordered that book because I think they misunderstood the power of Brett Bean being a frequent collaborator of Scotty Young. And also he was involved in a Dungeon Crawler Carl webcomic or something. And that's just getting more and more popular. Dungeon Crawler Carl, right?
Yeah.
With White Sky, I have no clue because the book was good.
Yeah.
It was all right, but like I don't understand what the White Sky hype was. Honestly, I really, really don't. Because Malevolent, that came out like a little bit before that. Another Image #1 that didn't pop. Do you know what I'm saying? And it probably had comparable numbers to White Sky or Dork, if I had to guess.
Yeah, like it was the strangest thing because I hadn't heard about White Sky until Wednesday when Rex put it on the show. And I went to look at it. I was like, are you telling me this book just dropped today? It's already sold out and it's already on eBay for, at the time, $60 to $80. Yeah, and I read it and I was like, it's a good book, but I don't, again, as a fan, I don't get it.
So never, ever do I think that a book popping off day of release like that is related to word of mouth about the content inside, right? Very rarely, unless it's like your rare occasion of a death of a superhero that they didn't announce 2 months ahead of time, but that's a rarity now because they always announce the deaths of these superheroes 3 months ahead of time. And then about a week before it actually releases, they announce the return, right? So they seem to undercut that stuff. But like, so but with Dork, I can kind of understand. Maybe the demand was there and the supply was low. But with White Sky, I don't get it. I don't get it at all, bro. Because every comic shop is a microcosm of the entire comic retail industry, right?
Right.
Not saying that everybody has the same top-selling books. Not everybody has the same like ratios, you would say, about numbers. But it's a good microcosm. There was like no interest in White Sky #1. There was a little bit of interest for Dork, mostly from my I Hate Fairyland Scotty Young heads, but like nobody said anything about White Sky. And I was actually nervous that I over-ordered it just on the strength of it being an Image #1. And I did read the PDF beforehand. Yeah. So I was taken aback. I had no clue. I was very, very surprised. I don't know where the White Sky hype comes from unless it's just this is the next Image #1 that came after Dork. And so people are jumping in on it. I have no idea. No idea. This week, though, everybody watch out for Murder Drones #1. I think that's going to pop from Oni Press. Watch out for that one.
Okay.
So I had to reboot the router, which basically unplug it and plug it back in. This is what I was afraid of. My internet is not great. So we'll see what happens. Am I back?
Yeah, you're back.
All right. Yeah. Yeah. Thanks, Preston. No, just crappy internet because I won't use Comcast. So I have a T-Mobile box. Although Verizon's trying to get me to join theirs. I mean, maybe I will. Although my Verizon signal isn't great here either.
I want to real quick to wrap up this White Sky thing. CJ says they were blaming those pesky influencers. What influencers were pushing White Sky before release? That's what I don't get, right? Because that was Wednesday morning when shops were open. It was already selling for like 30, $40. So I don't know what influencers were talking about White Sky.
So
You know?
I heard it was severely under ordered. That's why.
90% of image number ones are under ordered. That's
I
you know
have
what
no
I'm saying?
idea.
That's what I'm not understanding. I think it's a response to Dork. I think Dork popped, and now people were looking for what's the next low print run image number one, right?
I've not read it. Have you?
Yeah, I read it. Of course I did.
What'd you think?
I thought it was all right. It was a solid book. You know, second print's coming. There'll probably be a third print because I think the second print's already selling. like Dork number 2, the second print's already selling above cover. It hasn't even released yet. Like it's nuts. But it's good to see stuff like that because it does, even if it's something that we may consider silly or maybe it's not what we think that based in readership or anything like that, it gets people talking about these books. It gets people in the shops. It gets people looking. I had more signups for White Sky and Dork this week at the shop than I did Absolute Batman. That's insane. Because I'm like, well, by issue 12, we'll see if you're still around. You know what I'm saying? But, you know, everybody wants to be on that next Invincible number 1, that next Walking Dead number 1.
Yeah, there's already a third printing of Dork coming out.
It was just on FOC today. Yeah.
All right. So the good news is I feel like a younger generation is getting into comics. Okay. And the reason I say this is I found out I missed our team practice on Sunday, long story short. And apparently the head of our organization says that one of my players has an older sister who is a comic fan. All right. And he had one of our Space Ghost issues, and he showed her what my name in the at the front of the book, and apparently she lost her mind. Now the problem is the rest of the team is going to find out about this, so now I got to deal with that. But what that said to me is there is a younger generation. She's 14, I think, the older sister. The good news is that what that says to me is that younger kids are starting to get into comics, and that's a good thing. Because that was one concern I think that we all had. All right, is that it is something that those of us that are older, that remember it growing up, are the ones who are reading it now. And if you don't have a younger generation getting into it, it's unfortunately kind of like smoking. Okay, eventually your loyal customers die off if you don't get a younger generation hooked.
Oh, that's what's happening with the alcohol industry right now. Rex, I'm sure you've seen those reports talking about Gen Z drinks a whole lot less than Gen X and the boomers and, and the millennials.
Panicking about that. You're absolutely right.
Yeah. Yeah. So, you're right about that, man.
So we're going to do a giveaway anyway. I don't know what it's going to be. It's going to be a surprise because I didn't pick any books for today. So the hashtag will still be EXP Monday, all lowercase. Sorry, Jay. I didn't warn you about that. I should have put that in Slack.
All
just
good.
dawned on me. So go ahead, and if you want to enter the drawing for the free gift, whatever it may be, go ahead and enter here, make the announcement as to what the free gift is on Wednesday. All right. Surprise me, Rex. So, but we will do a giveaway for tonight. I do a giveaway every show. I just don't know what it is I'm giving away yet. So it will be a surprise to you and to me. So, Robbie, what is the movie tonight?
Oh, tonight we are wrapping up Sci-Fi Fest over at PCP Movie Night with one of the most influential, and I think that you can't even argue this, one of the most influential films of all time, 2001, A Space Odyssey.
Oh, my God.
Stanley Kubrick, 1968. You know this, how influential this movie is. There is a harder road to Star Wars. There's a harder road to Close Encounters of the Third Kind. There's a harder road to all the great science fiction we love of the 70s and the 80s and beyond without this film. Absolutely love it. I adore it. And it's going to be a banger movie. Also, tonight at the end of the show, we're announcing the full lineup for March Madness which starts next week. So I'm very, very excited. 2001, man. This is one of my favorite movies.
It was revolutionary, that movie. Some of the things he predicted were unbelievable. Okay. The video call, okay, FaceTime today.
The iPad, basically, right?
Yeah,
They're watching the news on the iPad, man.
Some things he got wrong, like the charge for the video call was, what was it, $3.50?
It was like it was like $1.40
or
something like
that.
that.
For that, okay. So he didn't miss the mark on that one, but the call itself, all that, it just defined that era for us, I think.
Dude, and made right there during like the space race, when like space exploration was everybody's mind. It was on everybody's mind. Predicting into the future. Such an epic film in scope, from the dawn of man to the like seriously, from the dawn of man to the transcendence of man, right? A movie that always rewards multiple watches. It's just mesmerizing to me. It's fascinating. It's beautiful. Dude, even the ape stuff, right? Take out all of the space station and the HAL and all that stuff. Take all that away. Even just the very opening of that movie, special effects wise, is groundbreaking. Apparently the Planet of the Apes people called Kubrick asking for advice, and he basically told them to screw off. But
but the monoliths represented something, the unknown, and that was what was amazing.
Do you know what's crazy is in the book it mentions that the monolith like lights up, right? The monolith is a display. It's basically, I don't have my phone near me, but it's what a phone is today, right? So in the book they talk about like displays coming up and them interacting with it and touching it and things like that.
I kind of like the way Kubrick did it, because it became the unknown.
Yeah. Well, have you read the book?
No, I never read the book.
Oh man, the book is really, really cool. Yeah.
It was written by what's his name?
It was Arthur C. Clarke.
Yeah, Arthur C. Clarke.
And he did 3 sequels to it, one of which became a movie that somebody shouted out, 2010, the year we made contact. Barlord, yeah, 2010, the year we made contact, still needs love. It's not 2001, but it's a much better film than other people realized. Then they did what? Was it 2061, I think? And then 3001, A Final Odyssey. So there's 4 books in the series. They're great books, quick reads. I would recommend them to you, especially since you're a sci-fi fan.
So John Coe, I'm using my own computer from work, so I saw your email flash over. So I obviously was not at the office today, so I don't know anything new, but I will be able to respond to your email tomorrow. I may have a solution to your problem, okay? And might be an easier way to work this, okay? So look for my email tomorrow once I get in the office. I looked outside before the show. They did such a great job removing the snow. I should be able to hop in my car and be there by 9.
Nice.
No problem tomorrow. And the roads look great, but it did help that it almost got to 40 degrees today.
Yeah, a lot of melt there. Oh, yeah. Stevie B got to watch Miracle right before he watched the USA hockey game. That was crazy, dude.
I did not watch Miracle, but I did watch the game, the USA hockey game. That was a crazy.
You have seen Miracle though, right?
The
movie. Yeah. Oh, that movie's great.
I saw the actual game, dude.
Oh, dude, that's awesome. I didn't. I wasn't born yet, but that's awesome, man. That's super cool.
No one wants to hear that.
I was on my way of being conceived, though, so there you go.
We definitely didn't need to hear that.
Yeah, me and my homie were at the bar on Saturday night, and there's a bunch of us all gathered around watching curling. And you would think we were watching Alabama and Auburn football, dude. Everybody was like, and then we all started talking. At one point, I looked at everybody. I was like, you guys realize that all of a sudden we think we're experts on curling now? Because we're all like, you did it wrong. You should have put this spin on it.
So let me say this about the 1980 hockey team. To me, what they did was still very special, because they were not professionals. They did not play in the NHL.
That's right.
They were all amateurs. Now it's a bunch of professional hockey players, okay, who most of them play in the NHL. So that was the one thing the Dream Team, I think, kind of ruined it for us.
Well, with the big difference, though, there, I would say, is that, like, And I know that other countries have really great basketball players, right? But in 1992, like the difference in skill level between our team and their, like, it was ridiculous, right? So even NHL players are comparable to other international players, right?
Well, the 1980 team, the thing about it was that the Soviets were paying their players. This was their livelihood.
Yeah.
Whereas the amateurs were not getting paid. Okay. So to me, that was very special what they did. They were definitely the underdogs.
Yeah. And Kurt Russell was a great coach.
Yeah. But now, Kurt Russell. But now it's kind of like, it's kind of like the Dream Team year. Okay. It's like the Canadians were full of NHL players. The Americans, U.S. team was full of NHL players. So you kind of see it. So I thought the women hockey victory, the gold, was a little bit more special this year because they are not professionals. They do not get paid to do this.
I was surprised about that too. I really, really was. That was awesome.
I mean, these guys, you make millions of dollars every year. Okay. And so this is just a kind of a side thing for you guys. Okay. It's great. It's awesome. But at the end of the day, you go back to your job that pays you an enormous amount of money. These women have to work real jobs, do real things, and still train and find time to win. That to me is more special. So, I don't know. You know what we didn't do? We didn't do shout outs. Let's do that real quick. And Jay, I guess we'll just take the one break at 45, buddy. At this
that
point,
works. Yeah, that works.
Since I was offline for so much.
We had a great conversation though about Dork and White Sky and Florida Cocaine.
Hippopotamus Massacre. No, that's good. All right, Jeff Gill in the house. Welcome, buddy. Acres of Movies. Welcome back. Marcus, of course. Triple B. Preston. Let's see. CJ. Let's see. Who else? Stevie B. Goo. What's happening, bud? Let me see. Who did I miss? CJ, I got Lyle. What's happening, buddy?
I want to know in the chat, what's everybody's favorite Stanley Kubrick movie? I'm curious. Mine would be 2001, but there's a lot of good ones.
I would have to say that's number one for me as well. I'm a sci-fi fan. And then number two would be Full Metal Jacket.
Okay, that's a good one. Good pick.
It was a different kind of war movie. You know what I mean? We were used to Apocalypse Now, Platoon, movies like that.
Yeah.
It was very different. And weird, what's going on, buddy?
Akers says Barry Lyndon. That's an interesting movie. I haven't seen that in a very, very long time. My number two would be The Shining. I would go with The Shining, but what's interesting is Full Metal Jacket in 2001, two Kubrick movies that are mostly known for one part of the story in particular, right? 2001, the stuff with Dave, Bowman, and Hal at the station. That's what it's mostly known for. And then Full Metal Jacket is mostly known for the boot camp stuff.
Yes. That was the Brooklyn movie. Bar Lord, what's happening, buddy?
See, I never fully got into Clockwork Orange, but I think I might vibe with it more now.
I watched it. It was a good movie, but it was, I don't know. It just didn't grab me, if you will.
Preston, I'm a huge Doctor Strangelove fan. I think that's one of what's his name? Why am I blanking right now? The guy that played Patton. He was in Firestarter. He was in The Changeling. Huh?
George C. Scott?
Yeah, no. George C. Scott. That's one of my favorite George C. Scott performances. And what's crazy, did you know this, Rex? George C. Scott was trying to play that character very straight, but Kubrick wanted it to be a caricature. So he kept telling George C. Scott, I want you to do it goofy to warm up. But he filmed all of those, and that's what put in, including the bit where he fell. It was a real thing. And George C. Scott for a long time was pissed about it. And then he came around and eventually started liking it. I never super got into Eyes Wide Shut either, Triple B, but now I'm really curious to dive back into that one.
That was one I did not like. Gaming channel, what's happening? Welcome. Let's see who else is in the house I missed.
I got Eyes Wide Shut right here on VHS. Look at that. A lot of people say that it was Kubrick's emotional manipulation of Nicole Kidman and Tom Cruise in this movie to get out basically he was like diving into their personal stuff between each other in their marriage and pulling that out for their performance. And then it was like, what, 2 years after this, they divorced, something like that. Coincidence? A lot of people also think that this was a big, kind of like a warning of some of the stuff we've recently seen with like the Epstein stuff and all that. So
Barlord, you're right. Kubrick missed that as well. Pan Am still being around.
Well, that's what I love about sci-fi movies is they're so reflective of their time.
Yes.
Right? With what we think the future is going to look like. And what's crazy is that 2001 has this timeless quality to it, but it's also incredibly dated, right? It's so 60s, right?
Yeah, it is. And that's good, though. In a way, it reflects the time. So I thought that was important. So let's see. Would I rather produce the next Fugitive or the next Shadow? I don't know. Be honest. TJ, what's going on, bud? So, yeah, I mean, Kubrick was always very edgy. His movies always pushed the envelope, I think. Some I like, some I didn't.
His Spartacus is good. I know a lot of us like Spartacus with Kirk Douglas, right?
Yes.
Yeah. And dude, he did a heist movie that's probably the shortest movie he did, but it's called The Killing. Have you ever seen that? That movie is genius.
No,
it's actually where it's like a heist movie about like bank robbers and stuff, right? And they're wearing like one of them's wearing a clown mask, if I remember right. Like it's referenced in The Dark Knight, dude. Like The Killing, that movie is so tightly paced and one of the greatest heist films I've ever seen. The Killing.
He was definitely a genius. There's no doubt about it. His movies always made you uncomfortable, I guess, is the best way to put it.
Yeah.
But let me see. Robbie as an alien in the new MIB. What name?
The name of that alien would be Ybor, which would be Robbie spelled backwards.
Where you come up with that stuff?
Who knows?
You're killing me. So yeah, so no John, obviously. John texted me earlier today, or maybe it was yesterday. Let's look. I'm not sure. And said he wouldn't be leaving his house until Wednesday. Let's see, where is he? Yeah, he texted me yesterday. He won't be leaving his house until Wednesday.
Nice.
No, I don't blame him. But I don't know. They cleaned up pretty fast. It probably some of the melt and all that didn't hurt. But
Steve, I don't buy that story, but I know what you're referencing. The idea that Stanley Kubrick helped NASA fake the moon landing.
Yeah, I don't buy that. I do not buy that. I don't know why that's such a big thing, that conspiracy theory.
It really is, but it doesn't help that like Danny's wearing an Apollo 11 sweater in The Shining. It does. I think the biggest thing is this: when the moon landing happened, people were like, "Man, that kind of looks like 2001: A Space Odyssey, doesn't it? That movie just came out last year." But you can see the difference, right? You can see the difference. But maybe that was like Stanley Kubrick trying to work on it. But like in 2001, gravity doesn't work quite the same way as it does in the footage. The moon looks different. Kubrick didn't know, like we had when they started developing that movie in like 64, 65, we had not had a shot of Earth from space in full. Right. So like the way Earth looks is wrong because a lot of people thought you wouldn't be able to see the continents because of the atmosphere. So you don't see the continents on Earth. Right. Little things like that.
I don't know. It's just weird what people will I don't know think is fake or conspiracy theory.
Jay says, you believe the moon landing, but not that the earth is flat? What even is this?
Sorry, Jay. Dwayne, what's up, bud? So if you joined us late, I am doing this from my house because we got 20.8 inches of snow yesterday. Corey, what's up? So I was buried in my house until they came and removed the snow. Thank God. So I didn't have any books planned. I was optimistic that this would not happen, and turned out it did happen. They were right. We got slammed. It's unreal. Long Island got 27 inches. CVB confirmed that, although I saw it in the news this morning. This morning at 6:30, it was at 18. It kept snowing. So we topped off at the end at 20.8. It was unreal. Absolutely unreal. So much snow. I did go to the grocery store Saturday morning. It was a mob scene. Oh my God. It was unreal. Because the last snowstorm, I went a little bit too late and they ended up being cleaned out of everything. Easy, what's up, bud? Yeah, I saw that on news as well.
Oh, thank you, Stevie B. I appreciate that. I'm looking forward to having him back on. Stevie B talking about had a great conversation with Stephen R. Bissett on Friday, the artist of Alan Moore's Swamp Thing, the guy behind Taboo and Tyrant. And Tyrant's about to hit Kickstarter. They're putting new editions out, including an artist edition and a complete edition of Tyrant. It was probably one of the best conversations I've ever had with a comic book creator. Seriously.
Very cool. All right,
I would totally be in Stand and Deliver, but Lou Diamond Phillips would have to be in there as well.
All right, so let's take our one and only break of the night. When we come back, we'll chat a little bit more, and we will do the drawing for the mystery giveaway. And why is it a mystery? Because I didn't pick anything yet. That's why. All right, so hang out. We'll be right back.
Symphonic verses, Nocturne's romance. A song of romanticized darkness, dreaming death by sleep.
FOC, a comic industry term for the final day a new comic can be ordered by a local comic shop. So, what does that mean to you? Well, it's your last chance to order a new comic book from your local comic shop. Order up! The FOC show will go over every book that's about to be cut off every Friday afternoon.
I'm going to highlight some of the stuff that I think is really worth paying attention to,
so that you can put in an order at your LCS for as many copies or as many variant covers as you want.
Sometimes the store needs to know to up their orders.
Never miss out on a popular comic again. Order up, part of the experience.
Download our app on Google Play and the App Store. It's so simple, even my mommy can use it. In a world where you hit like and subscribe on our YouTube channel, that'd be really great, thanks.
All right, we're back. All right, so you guys actually want me to give you a signed softball? Yeah, you don't want that. That's worthless, to be quite honest.
I think that's a great gift.
I'll pick
man.
something good. I'll tell you what. How about a trade paperback of something? How's that sound, guys? I don't know what, but it'll be something. So let's see. I'm just reading the chat here. But Robbie's doing 2001 Space Odyssey tonight, 9 p.m. Eastern. So on his PCP channel, definitely that is one of my favorite movies as well. It was prophetic, and Kubrick was something. His movies always, especially given the time period that he made his movies, he was definitely living on the edge in terms of making movies.
And a lot of people don't remember, or they don't realize that this was like the first, like, I know we had Day the Earth Stood Still before this one, but this was one of those first, like, not so hokey, very serious, and truly terrifying. That's what's crazy. The movie, it has this inspirational, awe-inspiring side to it, but also this really scary, terrifying side of it too, right?
You guys have some really outlandish suggestions on what you want as a prize. Robert, what's going on? Robert Paulson. All right, so anyone that's joining us just now, the show will end at 7 o'clock because I forgot the cord. We are doing the show from my house because overnight we got 20.8 inches of snow. Snowmageddon actually happened. They predicted it would. I didn't believe them, and unfortunately did not plan ahead. I actually had to go into the office on Saturday to grab my laptop, and in doing so, forgot to grab the power cord. So that's why we're doing the show from my house, and I did not prepare a show, so all the books are still in the office. So new books of the week for Dynamite, and the new books, ratios, anything like that, will be on the Wednesday show. All right, so tonight we're only doing an hour because this thing, man, I can't leave it plugged in at work all the time. Man, this battery is crap. Anyway, it's like I started with a full battery, and now it's like about a quarter full.
Oh, wow. Yeah, you definitely could have made it the 2 hours then.
Yeah, no way. All right, so my apologies. So we're just chatting. So the giveaway is a mystery because I did not pick a giveaway because it's at the office.
Mystery giveaway.
Exactly. No, I don't think so, Akers. But I'm thinking of doing a trade paperback. So let me know if you guys, TJ, trust me, I did. And because my laptop is so much older than my work one, I tried, the cord doesn't fit. They keep doing this. Hell, DJ, trust me, if I was going to forget, I forget it all.
It's real easy, man. Just get some paper clips and a lemon, right? And just
all signed. Oh my God. I will, Robert, no doubt. So just so you know, no one was in the office. So I couldn't, hey, Phil, so no one could have gotten you an answer, unfortunately. So no one went in. The entire region was buried under snow. So we were on the high end, 20.8, but it ranged anywhere from, well, west of us in the Lehigh Valley, they got maybe somewhere from 6 to 7. And then I read the my iPhone app, and it says we're going to get more snow on Thursday, 5 to 6 inches or something like that.
Oh my goodness.
It's crazy. I can't take no more, man. I definitely cannot take any more snow.
Triple B, them Vampirella archives are amazing. We got 4 volumes out in paperback as we speak. 4th is out. Really cool stuff.
Yeah, no doubt. So on Wednesday at 7, I will have the books coming out that day, and obviously There's no man cave CBB. There's the family room. That's about it. And I will have new books that show. So that show will do very little talk, mostly the books, because there'll be a ton of them. Yeah, I had no choice. Well, the storm is over, thank God. No, we should be fine. So it's over. So the cleanup happened today during the day. Tomorrow's going to be a bit cold, but it's actually a little bit better than last time, because last time it snowed about a month ago. We went into a deep freeze. And this is what really pissed me off. I think it was Friday. Finally, all the snow from the last one melted off my lawn. Because after the deep freeze, after that snowstorm, it was like a block of ice. So finally, it all melted. I could see my grass. And then a day later, it snows again. So it was just insane. I can't take no more. Kids had a good time. School was canceled today, of course. And a lot of schools are closed tomorrow as well. So, but I have to admit that this was unexpected. I thought they got it wrong, and yeah, right, Jay. Oh my God. So, but in the end, as I said, short story I told at the beginning of the show, it reaffirmed my faith in mankind, if you will. So my neighbors were really nice. They know a lot about me. I've known them for 20 some years. And my one neighbor had called, his wife had called the landscaping service that we all use, a whole bunch of us, because we get a deal. Because, when they're cutting the backyard, it's like, dude, you're just running across this white, so you might as well do it for us. So he gave us a deal. She called the landscaper, and when I went out there facing all that snow up to my knees, thinking, oh my God, I got to shovel this and clear the driveway. My neighbor comes up to me and says, listen, we called the landscaper's name is Vladimir. He said, we called Vladimir. They're coming out. They're going to remove the snow. And he said, we got you. Okay. We told him to clean out your driveway as well and your steps. And I want to find out how, what do I owe you? And they said they got it. They covered it. And then my neighbor's on the other side. He's a younger guy with a 9-year-old daughter. Last time it snowed, he helped me shovel, my driveway. And I'm pretty sure I have to ask him. I have to shoot him a text. I'm pretty sure they cleaned off my car today, because when I went back out to look to see if the landscaper showed up, my car was clean. And dude, there was this much snow at least on the roof of my car, if not more. So it reaffirmed my faith in mankind, that ultimately people are good people. Most people are, but you don't know that if you look at social media, if you watch the news. It's horrible. So that's good. So I'm happy about that. So again, Robbie at 9 p.m. Eastern on PCB. 2001 Space Odyssey by Stanley Kubrick. One of my favorite movies, and definitely one of Robbie's favorite movies. So definitely check it out. If you could, hit the like button, subscribe, super chats. As you know, we do this. The sales that we do cannot support the whole channel. We have a bunch of programming that is not revenue generating, if you will. So trying to create a safe space. So if you could, Kyle and Nick would appreciate it, but definitely hit thumbs up. And if you would, leave a comment. It helps our algorithm at the end of the day. And once again, I said do. No, I didn't. I did just then, though. I said that. Once again, I appreciate you guys. I appreciate the community we have here. And we are doing a giveaway. I don't know what it's going to be, but we're going to draw a winner today. So, Jay, if you would, spin the wheel. Preston, I think Kyle is flying to Phoenix, I thought he said. Kenneth Bird, congrats. Yeah, so I don't believe Kyle is back in the East Coast. I thought he said he was flying to Phoenix, but I'm not sure. Yeah,
He should be on his way back from Comics Pro, I think.
So, but I appreciate you guys. I appreciate you tuning in. I appreciate you tuning in tonight. This was fun. We should do more often. Definitely.
We pretty much do it every week. We just have 2 hours, and the other like hours kind of filled with comics.
There you go. All right. So, and everyone, if you are in the snow like CVB and me, be safe out there. Definitely, it's hard attack snow. It was wet and heavy. The little bit I did shovel. I'm not going to send Kenneth a signed softball. If it was Marcus or one of you guys, I would. And my energy saver just turned on my laptop because I don't think Kenneth wants a signed softball from me. All right, if Marcus won or one of you guys won, I would have sent you the ball probably because I got tons of them here. But I appreciate you guys. Appreciate you, Robbie. Thank you, Jay. And I will see you guys Wednesday at 7. And Nick will be back on the Original Art Show on Friday at 7 p.m. Eastern. And, of course, don't forget Robbie tonight, 2001 Space Odyssey. All right. So, everyone, be safe. Peace.